Hello and welcome to my video on Aliens Fireteam Elite, and is it any good? That's the main question we're here for. This game has now had its support ended, so this is the most complete version of the game. As we can see in the bottom right corner, it's been updated to the Alien Day 2024 update, which is automatic. And I am playing on the PC version from the Xbox store. So that is the version I've got. I don't know how it relates to the Steam version or the Epic Games version. I don't know if there is one on the Epic Games store. So there might be a few tiny differences. I don't know. I do always wonder about the Xbox App Store, if I'm honest, and how that really varies against other PC releases, just because this particular game is a play anywhere, so I also have access to it on the consoles, so like Xbox Series X, S, and I think the Xbox One. I don't have one, but I'm going to presume I do via the smart delivery. But I do have a Series X. So the main point of this is just to judge how this game is, and for me, there's a few, how do you say, areas that are really key to this kind of game. So like, straight off the bat, this is a great title screen. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Colonial Marines, but this does it a lot better with like the Earth, the Endeavour ship, and a little space station over here. And it's just generally a nice touch with the sun there as well, glinting around the corner. I think that's just really good and really well done. So overall, I think it's a great game as a complete package. I do have the ultimate, is it the ultimate edition, deluxe edition? I have all of the content essentially. So let's just have a quick look at this. There are no cutscenes in this game from what I remember, except in the expansion pass, which was the Pathogen campaign, which it isn't the end of the world not to have cutscenes, because the game is stitched together with, as you see, these guys over here. Go over to him, he'll have a pop up for me to talk to Sergeant Herrera. Then you've got this lady over here. She will essentially guide you through the campaign, I believe. And all of the missions, in between the missions, you'll always come back here. This is like your little hub. You've got a little loader there. I don't know what they're called. But someone out there is going to correct me, and that's called something. Very specific. So for me, I'm just going to call that dropship. I will happily be corrected on that. But looking at it, I think what the developers are going for here has been realised essentially, and I think the graphics are really good. You've got a plethora of loadouts that you can get for your character. So you've got Gunner, Demolisher, Technician, etc. Doc is really good. If you're playing in a group of friends, one of you has to be a Doc. I played this with two of my friends, and I was the Doc, hence why that's leveled up to completion. It was so useful. Like, there is no way about it. I had to be a Doc, because the other two are just quite happy killing all the aliens. So I was just there to patch things up for them. I just really get them through it. Well, we've got each other through it, to be fair. So enough of that. So what you have here for your character, we'll start with the character. So you've got all of these, you've got equipment, you've got various guns that you can buy. This is like essentially a secondary weapon, and you do have a sidearm, and you've got your abilities. So each Loadout has various different um, abilities that you can use, but you can also obtain others as you go through the game. You can buy them from the requisition man, and then you've got perks as well. And you'll notice that each of these will give you a combat rating, which then totals here, but we'll come to that in a minute. And then we've got consumables, which, like, this game is really good in the sense that you don't really need microtransactions because it gives you enough of everything to really go through it. I've got all of these, but there are others you can have, like sentries that have like regular rounds or electroshock rounds or incendiary rounds in those sentry towers, and they all come in very handy. And because there's 3 of you, you can really stack out all of these based on what you need for each mission. Me and my friends found that very useful. But you can only carry 2 sets, but I think and it will tell you there the max equipable is 3, and that's what I've got. Same with that. So I think 3 is the max, but each one I think is different. You can edit your appearance. So for some reason I've got the expedition suit on, which I think is from Prometheus, which I was completely unaware of until I saw the film the other day. You can have a head accessory, which is like a helmet or a baseball cap. I'm not really sure about that. But weapons, there's plenty of weapons. I am a gunner at the minute, but these are the rifles I have available to me, and you can rank them up. So, for example, the pulse rifle. Let's have a look at that. No, we can't look at that. Let's go back. Here it is. That I've ranked up, so I've got an extra 5% stability, effective range, fire rate, and then 4th one has given me this as well, which you're gonna need them if I'm honest. There's not really a reason not to rank these up, because if you're going to go at it with high difficulties, you're going to need to be ranked on those and get the extra stars. They do rank up together, so for every mission that you do, you've got your XP will go up, and your weapons will go up all the same. So you don't have to equip or use them during the mission. As long as you have them on you, you'll get XP for them. And you can go up to a maximum of 8 ranks on here, with your little loadouts. So there's plenty to be getting on with. I mean, I've got all these to do as well. So you also can equip emotes, which I haven't done, but you can just have a lot of emotes going on if you want to just annoy your friends or anything like that. If you want to mimic a xenomorph, it is a bit weird. It is a bit of jokes, really. Vomit. Yeah, I see what the devs are going for, and I fully appreciate it. Then in your inventory, this is where you can see all your weapons and such. You've got your attachments as well, which all have various different perks, essentially. And then you've got consumables, which are all here, which I don't have any sentries. Challenge cards, which if you go back and replay missions, which is always good if you're going for like intel and you've missed some, then just pack a couple of these. You can pack them on while you're going through the campaign. You can only use 1 per mission, and that's for the 3 of you, because I do believe, if I remember correctly, that the 3 of us would pick a separate card, and then only 1 gets picked, I believe, unless they've changed it since I played it. That's how it was. So as you can see, all of these give various experience or credits. Some will give you extra challenge cards on completion, like there. And you can have quite a lot of these cards, as you can see. And they all come in useful. They don't make the game easier unless you want them to. Some have this. Enemies move faster and hit harder. They're much more difficult to stumble. So there are various different ones that you can use. So increase your credits as good as you can, or deal less damage. So they've thought well about all of this and all of those. So your character is kind of really key in all of this, and everything that you do is useful towards your future missions. So going back to the game itself, I think they've captured the world as well as they can. By just looking here, this is exactly how I would expect a scene in Aliens to look on the ship. They've caught the guns really well that you can stick decals on, which I have, that one. And overall the missions are done really well as well. Because you've got Priority 1 and all of these missions here, and you've got expansion. You also have a couple of extra game modes here, like a few horde modes, point defense, and just a tower defense essentially, like literally tower turrets. And you can just go through them and earn XP while killing all of these little Xenos. And then you get tactical opportunities like daily objectives. We've got a weekly one here, but 2 dailies. So I think this is really well thought out by the devs. You've got lifetime stats, and it'll just tell you how much kills you've had, how many attachments you've got, how much intel you have, and you can go back and just have a look and see what you've done with all of these loadouts. So there are some where we did do an intense one somewhere, I think, and it will just tell us that. It just tells you how much time you spent there, but not how much score you racked up or anything like that, because there isn't any. I think just getting through the missions is good enough. So yeah, and it'll tell you loadout kits for each one, like what you've done, and also with your weapons as well. So if you really like all your stats, this game has you covered. So Priority 1 is where you'll start, and I will just launch the mission anyway. I've got a challenge card enabled. I'll
Fireteam, this is a rescue mission. You're boarding Katanga, a derelict orbital refinery. Ingress is via the forward airlock. You'll locate, secure, and evac Dr. Tim Honecker, a Weyland-Yutani scientist. Mount up, people.
Nobody. Look to the left. You can see the bulkhead wall. Might be straight though.
So as you can see that I did just load up just a random card there that if I back out of this, I'm not going to be too fast if I lose it, if I'm honest. So looking in the mission, graphics wise, it's pretty decent. Like, I don't just take
We got a ping on Dr. Honecker's personal data transmitter. He's not far in.
Consideration on this. I do look
First,
at
we need a deck plan. Pull one off a terminal and chlorine extraction.
And I do believe she is going to chat quite a lot during this. So let's just turn her down. So overall, the game looks great, and this is kind of what you'd expect an Alien game to look like. It's very similar to Alien Isolation as well, in terms of the look and feel of it. And there's not really anything wrong with this, or anything that I would improve personally. So overall, I'd give the graphics a solid 8 out of 10 on this. Because even in your settings on the PC, they do kind of look out for you and give you your standard list. It's not as much as some other games give, but there's a lot more than you generally get on a console. So overall, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. The gameplay, I think, is really good because aliens do come at you in waves, and they don't all come at you from the same direction. In one section, you'll have them coming from down here, or immediately afterwards they'll come from behind you, or from the side, or from the top, from the bottom. It just depends on the level, but they will literally come at you from everywhere. Because it's the very first part of the first mission, this isn't going to happen here. This is essentially the only safe zone in the entire game, where if you're standing somewhere for too long, aliens will come for you. Not many, like 3 or 4 maybe, depending on the difficulty. They will come for you, so it kind of stops you from being still in the game, which I think is really good. So it just keeps you moving towards the objective without really hindering the gameplay.
And maybe we can kick the backup power after we grab Honecker.
Got the little synth here on the side. He's not going to do anything, so we'll just move around. I'll just show you what the combat's like as well, which I think the combat is pretty decent. It is quite intuitive. I do have an issue with my mouse and getting down the side, which is why it kind of flicks a little bit.
I got a deck plan. Backup generator is beyond Honecker's ping. We can kick it after we grab it.
Him. Like, the story is pretty decent if you listen to it, just because, like I say, there are no cutscenes. I've got a little motion tracker in the right corner down
this
there.
Is the Colonial Marines. You hearing me?
So I just think overall, story's decent. I'd give the story 7 out of 10.
Not encouraging. Continue your sweep.
Let's go after the alien, wherever it's gone. Take it down. Where are we going now? I'm actually going this way.
He should be right here. High speed incoming. Get hot. Don't lock up. Way more than I expected. Watch the route in.
At the minute, this isn't so bad in terms of there's too many or anything. On higher difficulties, they are quite the terrors sometimes. Like, especially in the later campaign levels, you do get swarmed. So I do feel that this mission is easing you into this a little bit. So yeah, so I think the gameplay, the story is all pretty on point, very Aliens-like. And I just don't think there's much else to really be concerned about in this game. Like, if you're going to pick it up, make sure you got a few friends, or like you saw there, you do get the AI helping you, which some people have said they're brain dead and they don't help you, but I haven't encountered any issues with that as yet. So I don't have any verdict on that. So I think they're okay. If I crank up the difficulty and go into the later campaign missions, I'll probably see what they're saying. But for the missions I've done, they haven't really done anything wrong. So yeah, I don't know how the player base is at the moment. They could still, from what I understand, there's not many people playing this game at the moment, so it's probably best if you do buy this with a friend or two. It is only a 3-player game, which was perfect for me and my friends because we just all games of 3, sometimes 2. Voice chat, we use Discord, and that worked really well just because I'm on PC, they're on PlayStation. It is cross-play enabled, and that was very key for us to pick this up. And yeah, I think as a whole, great package. Get the DLC. They've built upon the main game with that, and I think they've taken a lot of the fan feedback from the campaign and implemented that in the pathogen expansion, and I just think it's probably the best DLC I've played for a while, if I'm honest. And how this compares to Colonial Marines is, yes, Colonial Marines did the drop-in, drop-out multiplayer, or co-op, I should say, for the missions, which I never really used. I only did that solo. So I do believe they both do it. I don't know. You cannot do drop-in, drop-out on this. Once you're out, you're out. That did happen to me and my friends a couple of times, where one of us would suddenly drop out of the mission, and then that's where you have a choice of, do we quit the mission and restart it, or do we press on and finish it? Because that third person that's dropped isn't going to get the XP. So it is a bit cutthroat sometimes. So just make sure that well, there's not even anything you can do about it. I was going to say just check your latency and your lag and everything, but sometimes games be games, you know. And overall, yeah, voice chat, if you can get a third-party app going. I do believe if you're on PlayStation or Xbox, you can just use the party on that, but because we're doing crossplay, we use Discord, which wasn't so bad. So I understand it's built into the PlayStation somehow. I'll pass on that, I don't have one. So yeah, like I say, if you're going to play it with your friends. It is a lot of fun. You've got different kinds of abilities to use. Just make sure that you do take advantage of each of them, and one of you, I would advise being a dog, while the other two can go off and shoot stuff. That's not to say you're getting an easy ride as a dog. Let me tell you that you're not. You are going to be needed with a pulse rifle. So yes, so I would say buy the game if you haven't already, or if you're thinking about it, or you're on the fence. Even as a solo, this is a good game. Just watch out for the AI buddies. That's the only thing I've seen online that you need to be aware of. But yeah, overall, go for it, enjoy it. If you've liked this video, please give it a like, and if you want to see more from me, or just like to see what I've been uploading recently, then just click subscribe, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of videos I do in the future. And yeah, thanks for watching, and take care.